Good morning again. So I hope everybody is having an okay morning, okay evening, afternoon, or wherever you are. Ready to just take a few minutes, take a breath. Remember to take a breath. And listen to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. So welcome to our daily reflection, my morning meditation, daily inventory, which is what it really is. A daily inventory is just take an assessment of where we are before we go out the door. So this way, using the tarot, we can ask the universe, is there anything we need to know? Any angers or resentments, tips or tricks or anything like that? As I always say, with the hopes that if we do this daily inventory each morning and we take a look at ourselves, maybe if the cards present something that we think about a little bit, and then we go out during the day and then something pops up, an anger, a resentment, maybe we can react a little bit different because we already thought about it and just take a few minutes and go outside. So it's kind of why I do this. So I just make sure my feet are firmly planted on the ground. My butt is comfortable. Take a breath. Relax my neck and shoulders. And listen to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. Which is my trigger for me to take a breath. And like I always say, it's always good when you have something like this, when you're going to do tarot, when you're going to sit down for a couple minutes. I find it best for me to have a trigger, something that says I'm not going to flip a light switch. I'm going to go from frantic to taking a breath. And my trigger after years is just whenever I hear the cards. So it doesn't matter where I'm at. If I hear the cards now, if I'm doing it for friends or I'm somewhere, I get used to just turning that light switch. And that light switch, whether it's ringing a bell, lighting a candle, we do it enough times, it's like Pavlov's dog, and our brain just says, oh, I know that sound. That means I need to take a breath. So, what does the universe have for us today? It's funny, half the morning is trying to get myself ready, and then getting myself in a mood to even be able to pick my tarot deck. I have like 120, 140 decks. I've lost count. But, I have to switch that mode because I have to go into intuition mode. Because each deck is going to have a different story to tell. And it's just one of those things where, as in life, we just have to trust our intuition and say, where do I want to go? Because, again, we are actually going to be asking the universe for advice. And using our intuition is a big part of that. So, I have my stack here. Divided up. Each one of these being a different thread going out to the universe. Each one a different thought or conversation. And if you believe in the multiverse, each one of these is a different path, because these top 4 cards is going to be a different conversation than these top 4 cards, or this one. And whichever stack we choose, that means there's going to be 2 different paths that we did not take. So today is Wednesday. Let's go with what's right in the center, what's at the heart. So I'm going to do my 4 and 1. And I'm going to flip each card over like the pages of a book so that I get to here and I think I know where this spread is going, and then I flip over the last card and it just changes everything. And it really does reflect life. We think we know where things are going, and then that last card gets flipped and it can just throw us for a loop. And that's why we do this, so that when we get thrown for a loop, maybe we don't get affected, angry, or anything else like that in life. So, 3 of Wands. So, Wands are fire. Wands are energy and creativity. 3s is about growth. Ace of Wand, you're planting a seed. That's brand new. 2, you got balance and you got choices to make. But 3 means a choice is made, and now it's about moving forward with that choice. And the Chariot. So the Chariot is about self-will. It's about making things happen. As I always say or sometimes I don't always say this with the Chariot because it's kind of like harsh, but just when I was in boot camp, it stuck with me, and the drill sergeant said, it's mind over matter. If you don't mind, then it don't matter. And that's what this dude here is doing. So this Chariot moves on their self-will alone. There's no reins or anything like that. It's about having that self-will and self-confidence to make something move forward. And then we have the Ace of Wands. We have the Page of Wands. So, and pages are the equivalent almost. Pages are almost like the court card version of the Ace, because this is about starting something fresh, starting something new. What is a page? It's somebody who is ready to learn, ready to move forward. He's not a knight yet. They're not the king. This is the page. And so it's about being excited about starting something new. The page can either, when you're dealing with court cards, can be us, can be somebody else, or part of the situation. But today is about fire and energy and making things happen. Self-will. It's about being ready to start something. Being fresh. Fresh, because that's the page. Pages are excited about anything. So this is the advice card. So today is all about the wands. Because here we have the King of Wands. And he's staring off into the future. He's got his wand here. So with the wand energy, wands are passion. So this could even be, if this is like a relationship, because wands are also considered, a very phallic symbol. So this could be whether it's a relationship or creativity. This is one of those things. This reading here is all about taking charge in whatever the endeavor is. We may not even fully know yet. We're still learning, or we're still taking chances. But we're not letting it's not the lack of knowledge, but we're not being inhibited. It's about saying, today I am going to take charge of whatever this is. And again, I'm talking of fire energy, creativity. If this is a relationship, maybe, putting the spark into it. So kings, again, we're dealing not with masculine, with male or female. This is the energy, masculine energy. And kings are what? They're the ones that take charge of stuff. They're the ones that come up with the ideas and the planning. And again, when we see court cards, it could be us or somebody else. So today it's pretty straightforward. It's about not letting ourselves get in our own way. It's about not letting ourselves. It's about saying, whatever concerns I have with whatever this is I'm doing or starting, whatever my concerns are, whatever my inhibitions are, whatever my low self-esteem might be, because again, pages, when we're a page, we are starting out fresh. It's about putting all those concerns aside and saying, I'm going to take charge today. And regardless of how I feel, I can master this. Especially if it's something we've been putting off. Because again, threes, we've started something. Is there something that we've been putting off? Because the king might not only be an advice card, it might also be a person who can give us advice. We start something and we don't know where we're going. And this is saying that we need to self-will our way through it so that we can start. We become the page with it if we've delayed it. But the king is the one who's going to say, well, you can't do the whole thing at one time. The page is looking, the knight is actually, the king is actually looking up at the page. So maybe the king is someone or something that can give us guidance so that we can start. It just reminds me now as I'm looking at this of, somebody once told me why I personally have difficulty completing projects or getting things done. And the analogy that they used was to say, when you're 7 years old, and it's fall and your yard is full of leaves. He said, my father was probably the type of person that would just hand me a rake and say, I want you to go rake the yard, and then walk away. So this 7-year-old kid would stand in the middle of the backyard and just start going in a circle, raking the leaves, creating a small pile. And that is so overwhelming for a 7-year-old kid. But you take somebody like that you trust, who is a king, who has experience, and he takes the page aside, the 7-year-old, and says, you know what? This is how you do it. You start in the corner here. You go into a 10-foot block, and you start raking. You do that 10 foot and get a little pile. Then you move over, and you do the next 10 feet. You rake it into a little pile. Then you move over, and you do it step by step by step. And before you know it, you've created all these little piles you can put together. And now all of a sudden it makes sense. We have direction, we have experience. And sometimes that's what we need, is direction and experience that a king of wand can give us. We can have all the self-will and desire to do something, but we need to also be fresh like a page to be willing to accept the advice. And with that, I hope that everybody has an amazing day, an amazing evening. I hope all goes well. So take care of yourselves, and I will be back again tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow's Thursday. Cool. All right, thanks a lot.